Kahala Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kadash, and double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the Akim doing his work in truth and sincerity and the four corners of the earth. All right, I want to do this lesson. Okay, going into this situation with Jerome Powell, you know, right now, all right, as you can see, it says Federal Reserve Chair Powell says DOJ has subpoenaed central bank, okay, threatening criminal indictment. Federal Reserve hit with DOJ subpoenas and criminal probe over Chair Jerome Powell testimony. Feds Powell says Trump administration has threatened him with a criminal indictment. Okay, so what this means is that Donald T is trying to get Powell out of the way. You know, um, and by doing this, they could pretty much say, hey man, go ahead and step down. Step down, face these charges. And what do you think he's going to be, more likely to do? He's going to be more likely um, to step down. And I was listening to Peter Schiff, and he was saying that a lot of those Fed chairs, they like to, they don't mind, stepping down when their time is over because they said that they make more money, you know, that they make more money out of office than in office, because they do these fucking world tours and shit, and get paid $250,000 per lecture and shit like that, you know. So, here you go. They're finding any reason, all right, to get rid of Jerome Powell. For some reason, I guess it's just the way that Esau do it. He always make that shit all, thematic and shit. Which we know that Powell is more than likely he's a puppet to even be sitting in that seat. Anyway, man, to even be sitting in the seat of to being a damn Fed chief, over the goddamn Federal Reserve, you know. But this is the game that these elites play, you know. They go with the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows, and they got certain politicians for each side of the agenda, you know. So at one moment, one person might be on the side of the agenda, and on the other end, he'll be, against the agenda, man. You know, and that's just how it goes. All right, so now it's time for Powell to exit stage left. All right, because potentially maybe this devil is preparing to crash this economy, man. That's what it seems like. All right, because as soon as they get rid of Jerome Powell, all right, their plan is to hit the green light on the cutting the interest rates. All right, and they talking about massive cuts. All right, because the person who's been in the way of these cuts has been Jerome Powell. They said that Trump got the majority. All right, um, like the majority of the whoever makes the determining decision over it. I was listening to Peter Schiff. He said that Trump got like 3 or 4 out of the people that can say anything, but Jerome Powell is the end all be all of that. All right. So if they get rid of Jerome Powell, expect that inflation to go sky high. You know, expect for silver and gold and precious metals, to go sky high. You know, and also expect for your US dollar to crash out. You know, And Donald T, he got a fucking solution for that. You know, they're gonna use that financial collapse as a a time of control. All right, or order out of chaos, and out of that chaos, they're gonna introduce their beast system, man. They're gonna introduce the MOTB, all right, to the planet Earth, all right. And there's some kind of plan that this devil, wants to push all of America's debt, all right, into the crypto, man. I don't know how it's gonna be done, you know, but that's just what I'm hearing. All right. And you can see right now, the silver price is steadily going up, man. God damn, Shit, Peter Schiff said he was buying silver when silver was $5 for an ounce. You know, $5 for a damn ounce. Trying to do the math, you know, that's like roughly an ounce going right now for like $96 online. So we could say 100, you know, and then five is half of 10. So do the math, you know. You would say 10x, so that's 20x, you know. That's 20x right now, based on a precious metal, man. You freaking imagine that, you know, and it's set to go up, even more, and it might be too late to get in, but it's still gonna go up, man. It's gonna go up to at least, they saying it could be 300, it could be 350, it could be 500, you know, and the people that's putting all their faith and hope, you know, in that silver and precious metals, you're gonna be able to use it for some time, to barter maybe, to trade, all right. But ultimately, if you don't have that MOTB, we know that you won't be able to buy and sell, man. Okay, so that's what they got, in store for you silver stackers, for people who have wealth outside of the U.S. dollar, who have wealth and property and things like that. You ain't be able to buy no house if you don't got the MOTB. Matter of fact, you won't even have a damn bank account, you know, if you don't have the MOTB, you know, and and then as far as holding, these precious metals and shit like that, yeah, it's value, but can you defend? Can you actually defend that value? Can you actually protect your money? When people coming after you, all right. When you got these goods and this and that, when you're able to buy this food and all this shit, you're gonna be able to protect yourself. The men of the Lord are gonna be resting on Yahweh Shah. But if you got you a damn bug out bag and a damn bushmaster, on some survival food, that shit could be taken away from you. All right. And Esau gonna have his damn Gestapo troops out here, ready to gun your ass down. Okay. So things are about to get turned up. Things are about to get rowdy, okay, here in America, man. All right. Clearly. You gotta be a damn blind man not to see this. All right, and we've been waiting, brother's been waiting to see that silver go up. That's not a good sign for you Babylonians. That's a great sign for the men of the Lord. Okay? Because that means that this financial system is about to collapse. All right. And through that, Esau is going to try to rebound it using the MOTB and the RFID microchip. All right. And using that blockchain technology combined with, the 6G and AI, you know. But that's all I had. Pretty lesson is edifying and shalom.